Hey, everybody, it's Mike Gamal with the Joey Song Podcast. This is another rewind where we revisit. I have trouble saying that every time. Rewind and revisit back to back. You try that at home if you think you're good at this. There are some moments in this Joey Song journey that have been truly life changing. And one of those was when Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo responded to an obscure post from our pal Chris Collingwood about his participation in Joey Song. From then on, Joey Song was never the same and in really a good way. So let's revisit our conversation with the amazing, I say amazing every time I have one of these, but everybody that helps out with Joey Song is amazing. But then maybe I should add this for Kay, the high energyly, please get your dictionary out. I've just made up a new word. The high energyly amazing Kay Hanley. Welcome to the official podcast of Joey Song. You know, at Joey Song, we have one mission: raise as much money as we can so that research into finding treatments and cures for epilepsy can get the funding it needs. We would love your support. If you can subscribe and leave a review of this podcast, it will help more than you could ever know. If you have a couple extra mouse clicks left in you, go to YouTube and our YouTube channel, Joey Song, and subscribe. There. In less than 2 minutes, with a couple of mouse clicks, you will have made it easier for others to find us and help spread the word. Now, if you want to do a bit more, head over to joeysong.org, consider buying a show ticket or some merch, or even making a donation. Thanks. You know, we'll beat this disease, and together we'll have some fun doing it as well. Join us. All right, let's do this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Joey Song Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Gamal. For those of you that are new to Joey Song, we're a 501c3 charity that raises money to fund research into treatments and cures for epilepsy. We also direct funds to support patient services and community programs as well. Our fundraising vehicle is music. Every year we hold a series of concerts that feature Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, Grammy winners, and top 40 hit makers. These amazing artists all come to Madison, Wisconsin each January for a festival that we call Freezing Man. You should know that every one of the artists that plays at our event donates their time and talent. None of our performers take a penny to join us. We have no paid staff. We are a 100% volunteer organization. The next Freezing Man is scheduled to take place January 8th through the 11th, 2025, with 6 amazing shows scheduled over 4 days. To find out more about Joey Song, you can find us at our website, joeysong.org, or follow us on social media, where all of our handles are at Joey Song. My guest today on the Joey Song Podcast is singer, songwriter, lead singer, rock band frontwoman, TV mogul, and Emmy winner Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo. Kay has been involved in a number of different things, including, wait for it, being part of the team that wrote the score for a Star Trek TV series. Yep, a musical on a Star Trek TV series. You're not going to want to miss hearing about that. So stick around for my conversation with Kay Hanley. Hey, everybody. As you heard in my opening Who's It's there, and that is the official name of that introduction. It's a Who's It's because I am from Wisconsin. My guest today is the glorious Kay Hanley, our dear friend, and chanteuse. I like to throw in a little French K on everything.
Chanteuse.
Oui, un petit
Je
peu,
suis
mais pas beaucoup.
chanteuse.
Yes, the entire podcast will be in French today. It'll be a very short podcast if it's in French. My guest today is lead singer from Letters to Cleo and our dear, dear friend, Kay Hanley. Welcome, Kay.
Thank you, Michael. It's great to be here.
Well, so today, as we are taping this, is a big day. We'll get into what you're doing, but tell everybody why today is a big day for you. with what?
Today is a big day because the show that I created by Michelle Lewis and Charlton Pettis, who are my writing partners, and then with a big assist from me, Dan Petty, and Tom Warburton, called Kindergarten the Musical. We've been working on this show for 3 years with Disney Junior, and it premiered this morning. And
Amazing.
it's just so overwhelmingly cool that we have an animated show on Disney.
It is. Any of us that have been parents over the last 20 years grew up with Disney, Disney Junior, Disney Channel. When my kids were little, we also listened to radio Disney in the car. So
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
we were Disney top to bottom. So does that mean you'll be appearing at the parks soon in costume, or?
Can you imagine? That would be so funny. Yeah, if you should, can you talk to someone and see if we can make that happen?
I think Walt's head is still someone we can call.
We got our start as Disney composers in 2010 as the series composers for Doc McStuffins.
Yep.
And we've just been doing that ever since. But this is our first show that we created.
Yeah, that's all you. So I'm going to completely go down the geek wormhole here. So how is writing for, and you've written for Josie and the Pussycats and lots of other stuff, but how is writing for a kids show different than, I mean, obviously the subject matter is different. You don't talk, I don't think there was a Letters to Cleo song about the first day of kindergarten, but musically, is it different? You keep it simple, that kind of stuff, or do you just?
It's funny that you say that, Michael, because actually I feel like every song that I've written in my entire life has been about some horrible, terrifying, or exciting feeling that I experienced as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't think anything has changed really about my reactions to the conditions of life.
Yeah.
So now that you mention it, I have like a real true story, lots of true stories to reference back to. But to answer your question for real, I really feel like my purpose in life was to write songs for a script. Like, give me a script.
Yeah.
Tell me what the song's about, who's singing it, what needs to happen, what the story is.
Yeah.
And I can just write them forever. I just love writing that way. Well, we don't write kids songs.
Yeah.
They're all songs that I mean, I'm a parent too, and my kids didn't watch TV because we couldn't stand the music. So,
well, we'll talk about Star Trek a little bit later. Speaking of writing for a specific thing. Well, so I have to ask the question then: if you like writing to a story, does that mean plays sometime in the future, or are you really happy where you are in the Disney Junior stuff? Because we've got this year coming. I'm going to pre-announce he's not performing, but we got Miguel Cervantes from Hamilton coming to the benefit. He and Kelly are going to come. We're going to do some podcasting from there. But maybe you and Miguel could pitch Hamilton 2 or something.
Or maybe I can get him to come on our show.
Oh, you could absolutely do that. Yeah, it's not. I guess I'm pre-announcing it here on the podcast, but Miguel and Kelly are coming, and right now Miguel's not planning on singing, but he will be there, and he is so talented. It's just stupid how talented
That's
he is.
So cool. Yeah, you're really just like roping him in this year.
Hey, I'm telling you. Well, in all seriousness, the epilepsy community is much larger than we'd all like it to be, and Miguel and his family have a story on that as well. So it's pretty easy, said Gamal, how he recruited Hanley with her connection to epilepsy. It's real easy when you got a good story to tell. And now with this crew of folks that we got coming, it sells itself.
It's just getting bigger and bigger every year.
Come and have fun. Yeah.
So proud to be a part of it.
Well, you've been a big part of it because you brought in Gail and Tanya. It's a snowball. It's a snowball. It's great. Before we start talking Joey Song, although that's what you and I always do, let's go back to what's going on with Letters to Cleo. I saw you guys this summer at Summerfest. Anything going on with that? Are you guys just still gigging from time to time?
Well, yeah. I mean, every year we go, at least we kind of reunited in 2015. We broke up in 2000, reunited in 2015 to make an EP called Back to Nebraska.
Yep.
And we were like, oh, well, we're putting something out. We should go on tour. So we did a tour in November, and which culminated in 2 sold out shows in Boston, which is our hometown.
Yep.
And we were like, it was so much fun that we were like, should we do this again next year? And then the next year we were like, should we do this again next year? So we've been doing it ever since, with the exception of 2020.
Yeah.
We have done this every year. So this year we're going out. We're doing a couple of dates on the West Coast, just California dates. And then we're going to do, I forget where we're on the East Coast, but 2 dates in Boston.
You guys have a pretty loyal following, though. They were 3 and 4 deep in front of the stage in Milwaukee, and T-shirts and 45th shows and all of that stuff going on. It's great.
We have very, very nice fans.
Yeah, very loyal fans.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked to. I suggested it, or I hinted at it. One of those 2 things a little bit earlier. My wife, who is a huge Trekkie, she likes the TV show. She's not that she's one of those. Told me about this episode where they were singing. She goes, "It's just great. It's just great." And I went, "Yeah, okay," like I do with most of her Star Trek stuff. And then about a month later, I found out that you were behind all that. And her mind, she loved that episode. Loved it, and has probably watched it 3 or 4 times.
What? I did not know this.
Oh, yeah. It was it was like one of those moments where I went running up to where she was watching TV. I go, "Kay wrote songs in like." So yes.
That is crazy. Yeah. Oh my God. That
mentioned
just
it
made my day.
How much she loved it before we knew you were involved in it. So
that makes my day. Thanks.
How does one write a musical score for a TV show that the only big music it ever had in it was a theremin at the beginning of it? Isn't that
That's funny?
Yeah. So how did that happen?
Well, Tom Polchi, when Stacy's not playing drums for Letters to Cleo, Tom is playing drums for Letters to Cleo. And he was the one, he wrote our 3rd album with us and toured with us for that. So I've been friends with Tom since we were in our early 20s and bands in Boston. And so he's been the house, like the staff composer over at CBS television, now Paramount Plus, for the last 15 years or something like that. And he always does, he'll like he did all the score for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and then he wrote theme songs for, whatever the procedural drama is. So he just ends up having something to do with all the music for these shows. So the showrunners of Strange New Worlds told him for season 2 they were going to write a musical, and he was like, "Excuse me, what?" Yeah. Because he actually initially asked if I would put together a team to do, like, he was just going to go out to teams to get them to do different songs, you know. But at some point along the way, he was like, "You know what? I think I would like to do this." And so he pitched himself to do the musical to Akiva and Henry Alonso, who are the showrunners for Strange New Worlds. And they were like, "That's a great idea." And then so he brought me on to be his lyricist, and which I was just like, I mean, as soon as I said yes, like, this is amazing. And then as soon as I said yes, I was like, "Oh my God,
what did I just say?
We're gonna get killed because no Trekkie." I mean, the fans are so cuckoo about canon, and just like, you can't mess around with these characters. You can't. And so when I realized what we were about to undertake, obviously really intimidated, but also low key kind of terrified for my safety.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we ended up having just the most unbelievable time. We wrote 9 songs for
Yeah.
this musical, and it was just such, maybe, I mean, the most difficult experience of my songwriting career for sure, the most challenging, but also like the most profoundly personal, it turned out, to
Really?
like have to dig so deep for those songs, and like all the research I put into the characters, and and the writers just came up with such a great, believable I mean, believable by the standards of,
Right.
the Star Trek universe.
Right. Right.
It made it, this scientifically was a sound
Yeah.
episode.
Well, and again, as you said, which you would have to with that fan base, because if you, put the E before I instead of I before E, they'll let you know.
Oh yeah. And we
Yeah.
put in some Easter eggs for like the real fan. And I definitely like interviewed or interrogated anyone I knew who was like a real
Yeah.
Trekkie. I was a fan in
Right.
that I watched it with my dad when I
Right.
was a
Right.
kid. I've watched a couple of the series.
Right.
But I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not a Trekkie by any description.
Yeah. Have you become one since you did that? Are you more?
I mean, I have a lot of no. I mean, I can't speak Klingon, I can't speak Vulcan,
Yeah.
but I know some words.
Yeah. That, and I believe there were some awards that you won for that. Were there not?
I didn't. Are you talking about the Emmy?
Yeah.
I didn't win an Emmy for. I didn't even get we didn't get nominated
Oh,
for
really?
an Emmy
What was the Emmy for?
I won an Emmy for some. That old thing.
Oh, yes.
The Emmy.
Yeah.
I won an Emmy for writing on We the People, which was a reboot, like an updated reboot of Schoolhouse Rock, that was created by Chris Nee, who is my mentor. She created Doc McStuffins.
Yep.
And it was executive produced by the Obamas.
Oh, Emmys and the Obamas. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
So yes. So I share an Emmy with Brandy Carlisle and Lin-Manuel Miranda and people like that.
Sure.
Well, as you do.
Yeah, I just assumed, because the timing seemed about right, that the Emmy was for that. But
no, I didn't get shit for Star Trek. I was pretty, and I really campaigned too. Like I really wanted that Emmy nom, but I did not get it. And
well,
that's okay, because I have enough.
Yeah, you got the love of my wife for that, though. I tell you, I'm serious. She freaking loved that episode.
Oh, I will bring her. I'll bring her a signed album when I come to Madison.
Oh my God, that would be be fantastic.
Uh-huh.
All right. I have a feeling you and I could do this for another 20 minutes, but
I know.
The podcast needs to move on. So let's talk Joey's song for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I'm going to tell our origin story so everybody understands how you got involved. So our pal, Mr. Collingwood, had played The Benefit and in 2019, I believe, pre-pandemic. And he just posted a little thing on Instagram or something that just said, hey, I did this epilepsy thing and it was great. And you responded, there might have been an expletive involved in that. Do I get involved in this? To which I immediately responded, you call me. And that's it. And from then on, you and I hopped on the phone and it led to all this. So that's the origin of it. But talk a little bit why Joey's song, The Cause, is important to you.
Right. Well, the reason that I was so overwhelmed by Chris's post was because, my daughter, Zoe Mabel, has epilepsy. She was diagnosed, actually not with epilepsy in the second grade. She was diagnosed with seizure disorder. And they never called it epilepsy, which is a huge part of the problem of how parents begin their journey in total isolation. with no
Absolutely.
one knowing, like, their kid doesn't have epilepsy. I mean, I
No.
think doctors like try and make them feel better, but
Right.
what they really do, they're denying us by not calling it epilepsy. They are denying us the opportunity and the ability to research, because
Understand.
and
Yep.
to find community. And
Yep.
so by the time I saw this in 2019, she had I think by then we had finally found a doctor at LA Children's Hospital who was amazing and like totally understood what the situation was. And so, but I still was a mom who didn't have any friends, didn't know of any epilepsy communities that were out there. And so, and I do, not for nothing, I will show up to I will play at a benefit for,
Right. Right. Toe fungus.
for anything. Right. Exactly. Like I'm not I'm not a tough get.
Yeah.
So the fact that Chris is just posting about just happened to do this epilepsy research, awareness, cure, benefit in Madison with like a bunch of people that I fucking love. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I mean, I just did it I just wanted to do it so I could find my people.
Yeah.
Like so I wouldn't be so alone anymore. And
yeah. Well, and so much of that story that you just told, misdiagnosis and avoidance and stigma and all that are so common. I have a feeling if we got 20 epilepsy parents in the room, all the heads would be doing this as you said that. And what really resonated with me when you just described that, and we hinted at it a little bit earlier, is a lot of the folks that are involved in this have epilepsy as part of their existence or their story. There's none of them that are only doing it for that, but they're doing it because of that, right? And that it resonates, right? Butch tells the story every year, his best man in his wedding, he's had seizures in front of him. And we know that the John and Zoe in Portugal, the man, their story with their daughter, Frances, and you go right down the list, John Cowsill, everybody, so it is a community and a family by both music and the cause, right? Which is, I think, what makes it such a close knit and wonderful thing. And not anything I did, serendipity in the universe brought it together, but it's a pretty cool group of people for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you say that, Michael, but I mean, but you are the one who actually took your fear and your pain and your experience and turned it into community, turned it into this. And, where a lot of us, I mean, your family paid an enormous price for its experience with epilepsy. But thank God for Joey, because he has saved us. And you asked me earlier, what is my favorite memory of Joey's song? And it's not, I mean, being on stage with Big Star, it was like, that was a dream come true. But and just all of the stuff that happens on stage and backstage is so much fun. But the first year that I did it, talking to people, like hearing people talk to each other and me participating in conversations where everyone's talking about their experiences with epilepsy and just as if it's just like a regular disease, just like any other disease, was just like, and all of a sudden it was just like so much of the fear and isolation was stripped from my entire existence that weekend, that first weekend that I joined Joey's song. And that was life-changing. And what I've been able to bring to my family and to Zoe, who I think Zoe's going to join me in January and sell shirts or whatever.
Yay! That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
tremendous.
yeah, and so it's unbelievable.
Well, thank you. I am proud of it, and I'm proud of the people that have come into my life like you and the list of all those folks. And there is something to that understanding that you're not alone and there's other fighting. One of the things when I'm on the other end of this and somebody's asking me questions that I always say, I said, part of the reason why I do this is because it was either that or crawl inside a bottle of Johnny Walker Red, which isn't always a good solution. It was to do this. But I wish somebody had started doing the research on Gervais 10 years before Joe was born. Well, I have not invented that time machine, so I can't do that. But I can be the one that starts this for everybody. And it's like somebody somewhere right about now is getting a terrible diagnosis, if if the odds are right. And not that they're going to know that you and I are sitting here doing this or we're planning the show, but someday they'll find out that there's people out there that are doing stuff like this in hopes that their diagnosis can go better than it has for some folks like Joe and others as well. So it's a pretty cool thing. Well, you stole my thunder. So now you got to tell me what you're looking forward to with 2025.
Sorry, I spotted a segue. I had to take it.
You did. It's
I'm a fucking pro.
Yep. This is not your first rodeo, young lady.
What am I looking forward to? Well, we've got some new guests this year for the rock and roll battle of the bands between Know It All Girlfriends and Know It All Boyfriends. Know It All Girlfriends are getting Jane Weedland this year, Tracy Bonham. We're getting, who's our third gal that we're getting?
Oh boy, I always got to look at my cheat sheet. You're getting Heather Porcaro, Steve's daughter.
Yes.
Who is a fantastic singer as well. And then we've got hopefully our friend previously from Minneapolis. We won't say any more than that you and Butch ran into. I'm still having that conversation. It was a slaughter last year. I'm pretty sure the Know It All Boyfriends aren't even going to show up this year.
I think the Know It All boy. I think they were just like they weren't expecting us to go so hard at them.
Right.
But I think this year they know what they're up against, so they are not going to come to play. I think it's going to get ugly.
Yeah. On social media, there's been a few F-bombs thrown. I'm not.
I hope so. It'll be great. It'll be great for the audience.
Yeah.
But we are not letting up. We are going. Our intention is to crush the Know It All Boyfriends.
Well, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I know where my money would be going. It's not even it's not even close. And your fearless leader, Miss Greenwood, is just everything to the wall.
How much do we love Gail Greenwood? She's just
and she's going to be the only person that's going to be busier that weekend than her is going to be me, because she's not only doing the Know It All Girlfriend set, she's doing the Belly set, and she is playing bass with the Bangles. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So she is going to be a little bit busy. So
that's crazy.
But there's nobody I would trust more holding down the back line than Gail. So
yeah, Gail's unbelievable. We are all so lucky to. Yeah. Everyone needs a Gail Greenwood.
Absolutely. She's phenomenal. Well, Kate, thank you so much for taking the time. And I'm looking forward to as we tape this, we're almost exactly 4 months out, and it doesn't seem like enough time to prepare, but it also can't come soon enough for me. It's such a glorious week. So
I can't wait. It's so exciting.
Yay. Everybody, yay. Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo. Thank her. I hear you all at home clapping. Yes, yay. Yes, thank you. That's it. The crowd noise. Okay, thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Michael.
Hey, thanks for sticking around all the way to the end of the podcast. A quick reminder, if you can give us a follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast provider and write a short review, it will really help us out. If you can head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel over there, that's another big help. These simple acts make it easier for others to find us. And of course, head over to joeysong.org to join our community and stay up to date on all the news. Thanks, and we'll talk again real soon.
Learn more about Joey Song by visiting joeysong.org. The theme music was composed by Sam Gamal, and Joey Song is a federally registered 501c3 charity. Thanks for listening.